Howdy folks, I'm hedonistic horror-y elfin, haphazardly hoarding harmless houseplants.
I'm Amber.
And here are more harmless houseplants for us to hoard, because that's what we do as, apparently, elfins. So, it's good. It's good. Let's get started. Alright folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Encouraging My Wife to Work Out and Lose Weight After She Complained About Being Fat? This is a throwaway account, and before you come for me, let me explain. I'm a 35-year-old male, and my wife is 32. We have been married for 2 years together for a total of 7, and she is the most beautiful woman in the world to me. Growing up, my wife was always a little heavier than her 3 very petite sisters. She said that she always felt like the fat one. About a year before we met, she had completed a weight loss journey, so I have never known the version of her that she describes as fat. I have always been an active guy myself, and the gym has just been a regular part of my life. Since the pandemic and the subsequent years afterwards, we have both gained a little bit of weight, as you tend to do with age, and being comfortable in a relationship. For the past 4 years, my wife has complained about her weight gain and says that she's going to start doing something about it. I've always told her that she's not fat, does not need to lose weight, and she is beautiful and sexy. Just before the new year, she came crying to me and saying that she is the heaviest that she has been in years and wants to lose weight. I sat her down and I told her once again that she does not need to lose weight, but if she truly wants to, I will help her. I encouraged her to start coming to the gym with me. I found some home workouts on YouTube, and although I find them a little goofy, I do these workouts with her because I want to support her. I told her that we can do fun activities together and not just be gym rats. Then, weight loss is simply the byproduct of being healthy and active. We also booked a Caribbean trip for the end of the year and are using this as an additional motivation to keep us going when we feel like quitting. We are about 4 months in, and although she is not at the exact weight that she desires, we are loving spending time together, setting aside 5 days a week to go to the gym, go on walks, and do goofy workouts in the living room together. During Easter dinner, we went to her parents' house for a big family dinner, and they were all complimentary about how she looks. Everyone except for her youngest sister. We'll call her Lisa. After hearing about what we've been doing, Lisa was angry. She said that as a husband, it's my job to reassure her sister and tell her that she is beautiful, not to encourage her to quote-unquote get skinny or involved in a toxic gym culture. She also said that it was manipulative of me to bribe her sister with a trip and dangle it in front of her. But we regularly take Caribbean trips as we live in Florida and have family on the islands. Well, when my wife reiterated to the family that the weight loss was her idea and that I have been supporting her, her sisters doubled down, angrily ranting about me wanting her sister to be someone that she's not and trying to, quote, manipulate her into fitting into society's narrow definition of beauty. I felt like this was coming from a sort of jealousy, but of course I can't say that in front of the family. It also felt like she was trying to turn the family against me. After being very complimentary before, her mother said that maybe I should have encouraged her daughter to be comfortable in her body and not make her feel like she needs to change. Her grandparents say that it's good of me to help her in being more active. Her dad won't give his opinion. The whole family seems split on this, and now I'm really wondering. All I did was help and encourage my wife with something that she wanted. So am I the jerk? All right, folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
No, not the jerk. I mean, I think that OP is doing a lot of things right here. He is not pressuring his wife, letting her know that he loves her as she is, but she wanted to get to lose weight. That was a goal she set. And I think his idea of focusing on, we're going to have fun being active, and if we lose weight, like that's a benefit for us, like that, you know, like having that as like an unintended, well, like not unintended, but you know, like instead of making the weight loss the focus, making the having fun together and being active the focus, because your body, like your weight doesn't determine how healthy you are.
Yes.
Activity is so much more important, and you can be active at any size, you know? And so I think that reframing it and focusing on the activity and having fun together is really a good way to go. And it doesn't sound like he's pressuring her at all. He's just being more active with her.
Well, you know, the thing is that I think this is probably the healthiest approach to weight loss that you can possibly have. there's no added pressure of, oh, I need to hit this weight goal or I need to hit that weight goal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what OP is saying is that we're living a more active lifestyle, and as part of that active lifestyle, the consequence of it is that we lose weight,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now, whether or not, OP is not putting any pressure on their wife to lose weight, and any pressure that she has is on herself as a personal goal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that OP did a really good job in handling the situation because the fact of the matter is that he told her that she was beautiful. He said that you don't need to lose weight, but if you want to be more active and have fun together, then we'll go ahead and do that, right? And as for the Caribbean cruise, it doesn't sound like this Caribbean cruise is like tied to any particular weight loss goal, just a maintained level of activity.
Right, yeah, like, and I think that's the important part is that, their goal for the cruise is like they're more focused on just being active and using this as a road for activity
Mm-hmm.
rather than weight loss.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's important, an important distinction.
Well, and it's good to have incentives,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it's good to be able to want to stay healthy. And if this helps incentivize you to stay healthy, then there's nothing wrong with that, right? So I think that the sister, she is coming from, I hope a good place, but it doesn't sound like a very good place.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple possibilities. It could be, maybe she has been, learning more about certain things
Mm-hmm.
like, beauty culture and weight loss culture and is concerned about that.
Yeah.
And so there is the possibility that she is not understanding the situation properly and is responding, from a naive but good interested place. But there's also the very strong possibility maybe she's been putting on weight
Yeah.
and feels upset that her sister is now losing weight or, something like that. It could be from a point of jealousy.
Yeah. And I kind of get that vibe as well. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Bitter Paramedic 531 says, "Not the jerk, and your wife needs to tell her sister to mind her own beak. Your wife is happy, you're happy, and that's all that matters. Sounds like sister is a little jealous that your wife is getting some attention." And Awaken Riza says, "Exactly. If the wife ain't happy and feels supported in pursuing her own goals, then the external opinions, though well intentioned, shouldn't override their shared experience." And Historical Farm 6030 says, "When someone changes, even positively, it can make others uncomfortable, especially those who feel insecure or judged by comparison or left out. That's likely what's going on with Lisa and possibly even your mother-in-law. Your wife making progress may unintentionally highlight things that others haven't dealt with themselves." And Head Thought 4783 says, "Or it's in the interest of the family dynamics for her to be the fat one." I mean, what do you think of that?
I mean, it's a possibility, I mean, there are families where people get kind of typecast
Mm-hmm.
into a certain role. And if anyone deviates from that role, then, people have a hard time with it. And usually because that means they can no longer make fun of that particular person. And I hope that's not the case, but it could very well be. I don't know enough about their dynamics.
Yeah, it's really hard to say. It's really hard to say. All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, "Am I a jerk? I, a 27-year-old female, got annoyed with my boyfriend, a 30-year-old male, before our really nice dinner because he shows up with no keys and no car. My boyfriend, a 30-year-old male, and I, a 27-year-old female, live together. Today, we had plans to go out to a really nice dinner. After work, he mentioned meeting at the gym, when I responded to, as I'm debating on the gym, but also I need to do my hair for the date. I did inform him that I would be weightlifting more than likely. He responded to me, okay, I'll just take my time here then. I assumed that we would be meeting up. So I get to the gym. I don't see him. I'm there for nearly 45 minutes before I finally reach out asking where he is. I thought that he would still be here, but I see on the Ring camera that he pops up at home. He then texted me to let him in. He lost his keys. So I responded, oh, what happened to your keys? Because he locked the door when he left. He didn't answer the question. Instead, he went around the question. I asked a few more times, like, what happened? Where'd you go? No reply. I get home and I ask him what happened, where his keys were, and he responded that he lost them and he doesn't know where they are, hence why they are lost. He only has his headphones from his keys, but the keys themselves are gone. So I proceeded to ask him where his car is, to which he responds, I don't know. You lost your keys and you don't know where your car is. So I get annoyed because I feel like every question I'm asking, he's dodging. I get silent. He did ask me what was wrong. I said nothing as I'm trying to process my own emotion and that I don't want to get mad or say something in the heat of the moment. I know that I shouldn't have said that I was okay, but was the first thing that came to mind. Well, then we finally are at the restaurant and I ask him again what happened to his car. He finally tells me that he gave it to his cousin to use. So why didn't you just say that the first time? He then gets irritated that I'm irritated with him, which I understand. I asked him if my questions bother him, to which he responded, I'm not trying to argue with you right now. What do you want? So I get silent again and we have a quiet dinner. I try talking later, but he hardly responds. So in the car, I ask him if he's mad, which he says he isn't mad. He's irritated that he spent a lot of money and planned a nice dinner date for me to be mad over a car. I'm not mad over the car. I am annoyed that it took me to ask him so many times just to tell me where his cousin took the car. I thought something had happened, and the story just seemed off to me, which is weird. He stated obviously that he was kidding because he wouldn't be calm if something had happened, but he didn't seem as if he was joking. And my boyfriend doesn't really overreact in stressful situations. All I wanted to know is what happened. He comes home with missing keys. None of his things are left in the house. He says that he has no idea what happened to his car and not being at the gym when I was there. Yeah, I'm a bit confused and the whole thing feels off. I feel like he was just jumping around with excuses. At any point, he could have just said, just kidding, but he didn't. Edit, I just asked him if he wants to talk, and he said that he doesn't want to talk to me right now. He said that he'll be back later. I asked how, with no car, and he doesn't need one. Update, I just saw his sister, and she has the car, which means the cousin did have it. All right, folks, what do you think?
I need more information on what's going on here. Like, I do not trust that the cousin had the car.
Yeah.
Like, why couldn't he answer the question? Why would he say he lost his car and his keys if his cousin had his car? And what about the keys?
Yeah.
Like, none of this adds up. Seeing his sister with the car does not mean the cousin had it, because the sister could have gone around the city and picked it up from wherever he left it. I mean, something is not adding up. I don't think OP was in the wrong to try and get information out of him. I think him being dodgy is what ruined the date.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you really hit the points there that I kind of wanted to make. And the fact of the matter is that he is the one who's acting dodgy, right? This is a classic reverse type of scenario, right? Where OP wants to know what happened, he refuses to give an answer, and so it makes OP uncomfortable because, like, and maybe it shouldn't. I mean, it's his car, right? But why is it that he couldn't have just told OP in the first place that his cousin had the car, right?
Well, and like, I would be concerned if like our car just randomly disappeared. I would want to know what was up, and I don't think it would be unreasonable to be like, where's the car? And like, how did you just lose it? Why aren't we at the police station right now?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's it, right? I mean, like, maybe OP was even kind of getting ready to be like, oh, we should call the police and find out where this car has been stolen. And what happens if she didn't wait for him to give that okay before she started, like, dialing up the police and stuff like that? Because, you know, sometimes people kind of do have these knee-jerk reactions where they're like, oh, I'm going to call the police, I'm going to get this settled and sorted and stuff like that, right?
I mean, honestly, just mentioning that probably would have been the best course of action, because if he says no, don't call the police, then he's gonna have to explain things.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's a good point, right? But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Doug Chilia says, not the jerk, something is way off here. Is it normal for him to let his cousin borrow his car? Why would he hide it if it is? Why in the world did he say that he lost it? How did he get home? Did he walk or did someone drop him off? I don't know, this is really weird. And OP replies, he's never done that before that I've known. He always has been taking his cousin to the gym, this week only once. But it was because he wanted to go and prepare for his match. He told me yesterday that his family's car was down, but that isn't what he told me this weekend. He just said that he's taking him because he's been going. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for posting a braless picture of my wife on social media? On Mother's Day evening, my wife, kids, and I were sitting at home playing board games. The kids gave their mother a gift, and I took a picture of her with it. The picture was later then posted on social media. My wife was wearing a loose-fitting t-shirt with no bra underneath. My wife has a large chest, but it's not like you could see anything with her shirt on. My wife texted me yesterday while I was at work and said that I shouldn't have posted the picture since she didn't have a bra on. I told her that I would take it down, but I didn't think that it was that big of a deal. Nobody could see anything, and I just thought that it was a sweet picture of her and her gift from the kids. She said that it was disrespectful to her family to have to see everything hang out, and that her mom would be upset if she saw it. So am I the jerk for posting a picture online of my wife without a bra on? All right, folks, what do you think?
I mean, I think the important thing is taking it down when she requests it. And I think this is where OP crosses into jerk territory because it seems like he wants to push back on that.
Yeah.
The key thing is, for one reason or another, the wife is not comfortable with having this picture up. It doesn't matter if OP thinks it's plenty modest. It doesn't matter if no one in the world would think anything of it. The key is the wife feels uncomfortable with it and wants it taken down.
Yeah.
And so OP wasn't in the wrong for posting the picture originally because he didn't see any reason not to. He's probably used to seeing his wife lounging around the house, braless, and doesn't even think of it. But by trying to be like, well, it's not, and it sounds like he was kind of pushing back a little bit on it. That's, he's not a major jerk here, but trying to keep the picture up when she's clearly uncomfortable with it does make him a jerk.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's really the stance that I have on this one is that she told him what her feelings were, and instead of being like, oh, I'm really sorry that this picture, was unflattering and might be offensive, I'll take it down immediately. But no, he doubles down and is like, it's not that big of a deal. Why are you making such a big deal out of this? Blah, 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 which is not a good way of handling conflict, right?
Right. And I think it's perfectly fine to want pictures taken down. I mean, it sounds like she has concerns about how her family would see it, and hopefully her family wouldn't look into it that deeply, but why would you want to potentially put her through that? But also, people can just find a picture unflattering, and that's not the end of the world. Yeah, it's a little sad that you have to take down the picture, but it's about
respecting other people's wishes.
Exactly, that's what I was trying to say. You said it well.
Yeah, but let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. But folks, let's see what the Wheel of Judgment has to say. Wheel of Judgment, turn, turn, turn. Tell us the judgment that OP's earned. The Why Are You Like This award.
I mean, I think that's fair. Why are you fighting this, OP? Just take it down.
Yeah, just take it down. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber, she has a joke.
What did the banker name their daughter?
The banker was very wise, right? And they knew what to name their daughter. And they went through a whole baby name book. They scoured the ends of the earth. And they were going to name her Denaria, after, Denari. But then they went with Penny.
Yeah, the answer is Penny. And it's Lucky Penny Day and also World Turtle Day.
So go find yourself a turtle with a lucky penny and steal the penny from the turtle, and that way you get the turtle's luck.
Don't steal from turtles.
Do it very carefully and quietly so Amber doesn't know you're stealing.
Stop. No, don't encourage theft, Brian. We do not encourage theft on this channel.
We don't encourage theft from humans.
We also don't encourage theft from animals.
And I have Earl Grey. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Fantastic Friday, folks. I hope your Friday is off to a fantastic start. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance, and please have it in the form of advice about how not to be a bad partner.
If your partner feels uncomfortable with a picture of them being posted online, it's best to take it down.
Yeah. But thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.
Howdy, fat. Howdy, fats. That's how I'm going to talk about everybody from now on. Everyone is fatter than I am. And we're talking about, fat bottomed, so we're talking about, cool. At least that's how my parents explained fat bottom to me when I was a child.